All right, guys, we're here. It's Lyfe N Tymes. Hello, thank you for coming, hanging out for us for another episode, guys. We're this. I don't want to spend too much time on the intro, guys. Look, today's the day. We have a very an astounding guest today, guys. Today we really get to see what it's like to be to be in the mind of someone that makes so much music, but so much great music that it kind of almost tips the scale over such a long period of time. Someone that's been very consistent for over, I would say, 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's, I feel like, seen it all. You know what I'm saying? In every step of the way. Someone that's actually some of my favorite music. And I really listen to like a lot of everything, but like this is like definitely in my top 10. You know what I'm saying? Of everything. You know what I'm saying? From the visuals to, everything. So without further ado, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's Moxie. I'm here on Lyfe N Tymes.
Guys, she's here. This is so, I'm so excited. You know what I mean? How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Hanging out?
Doing well. Yeah. I've been just being grateful for life lately, you know? Just to be alive, you know?
That's a good way to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a great way to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with, just how everything is nowadays and,
Exactly.
how society's been. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a fleeting feeling, almost. But we're happy you're here. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
I mean, I want to get into where you're from. I want to give a small introduction for people that do not know who you are, which is I'm sure it's a very small number of people. But
I'm
still.
sure there's a lot of people that have no idea who I am. I'm happy to meet them.
So let's just get into it. Where are you from? That whole fun stuff.
So I'm from New Jersey. I'm just a Jersey girl. I moved to New York City when I was 13 to go to performing arts school. So I lived with my sister since I was 13.
Wow.
And I'm an East Coast girl.
It's over here hanging out.
Just making music, living life.
You went to a performing arts school at 13?
High school, yeah.
Oh, what? High school's 13?
Well, it was like the year before high school. But I was in like a small town in New Jersey, which I love New Jersey, but I felt like I didn't fit in. I didn't have a lot of friends. My parents were like, "Oh, you want to go to this school? You can go. You're so serious and weird and focused that we're not really worried about you living with your sister." And they literally let me leave at 13.
At least some parents also know, like, okay, like, you know what I mean?
They knew me, and they were like, I'm more worried about her being too serious than going crazy, so.
Than jumping off the bridge or something
Yeah.
like that. No, that's fine. I mean, what was it like going to, because that's not like a regular high school. It's not like a regular experience. So what was that like?
I loved it. Just very, I think uniqueness was more celebrated, and you would think it would be kind of competitive, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was very like a community. People were very supportive. I had like an amazing high school experience. Yeah,
that's fine, because you would think it would be very competitive, and because it's in New York.
Yeah.
You would definitely think like, it's like, you got, kids from, all these type of different families.
There was like the ballerinas were, I think, competitive with each other. And so I feel like they felt that pressure, but I was in like a different lane, and so I just was kind of in my own lane.
I could understand about ballerinas. I kind of weirdly enough did like a deep dive on just like what it takes to be like a ballerina. You're out of your mind.
Oh, that's so intense.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
So intense.
Oh no,
Yeah.
so I can definitely see that. I mean, and that's a niche. Like none other. So you went and you were doing like music and
music.
Music
and dance. I grew up competitive dancing, so
we're gonna get there too. Because I was gonna say, well, save my thought for later. But so from there, like going, kind of having that musical background already. Like, where did it come from?
Oh, my family. My parents are Sicilian-Italian. My dad's very old school Sicilian guy, but loves to entertain. He loves to cook. He loves to have people over. He plays music in the house when we leave the house, so when he walks in, it's playing. He never wants the house to not have music playing. So not even when he walks in the house does he want silence. He wants music playing all the time. So And he knows so much about, like, okay, this song was released in this year, and this person was signed to Motown Records, and this person was, like, he knows all the details, and he's always, like, on YouTube every night after family dinners. He's sitting there being like, Teddy Pendergrass this, and this one, and he's just showing me all these things, and that was, like, my whole life. And it was just like Motown and Frank Sinatra were really like the only things we were allowed to listen to in the house. My mom would be like, "Can I put on one of my songs?" And it was like my dad really controlled the music and entertainment, and he's a very entertaining guy, and I think that's where I got that side of myself from. And I got all my other better qualities from my mother. No, I'm kidding.
Other better qualities. There you go. Shout out, moms.
Shout out, mom.
I think that's great. I love hearing the parents really, putting that backbone there. Like,
Yeah, and then my mom was the one who, my dad influenced me in that, and then my mom was the one who made it happen. I'm 2 years old, and I'm like, I want to do dance classes, and my mom made that happen. And I want to do competitive dance classes. I want to dance every single day of the week, and my mom made that happen.
Yeah.
And then she's the one that made it all happen. Yeah. So
I mean, it's very rare to see two like supporting households on both sides as far as like the mother and father, especially with things that aren't traditional.
Well, I wouldn't say my mom was supportive. My dad was like, "Let me show you this amazing thing called music," and then be like, "What the fuck? You want to do this with your life? Like, you want to be in this business?" And I'm like, "You made me love it."
Exactly. It's your fault that I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Your fault. Like,
I didn't come to this conclusion by myself. You know
yeah,
what I
I didn't come to this obsession alone. So.
Yeah, but I get it. I mean, at the same time, too, especially if he's read into how much it is, what it's like,
Yeah.
I can understand that, but
No, me too. I understand. That's his way that he shows love. Like.
Yeah. Didn't he own a restaurant?
Yes, yeah,
That's
yeah.
fire.
He
still does?
Yeah, my sister now has a restaurant. My whole family is like restaurants and food and
That's fire.
Sicilian food and.
Oh, see, you guys are living a life. You gotta get it right.
Yeah.
That's fire. But so from then you graduate from, I'm gonna guess from
Performing arts school.
Yeah, but you started to get really into. You started getting around 16, so started getting real serious.
Yeah.
Is that when you started recording, or were you recording?
I started recording probably before that. I ended up like doing getting a show opening for the Roots when I was like in 15, and then that kind of gave me like some push, and then I was like meeting with labels in New York, but then nothing ever landed, and then I was thinking about college, and my parents really wanted me to go, so I really wanted to study jazz. And there was a program at Columbia in New York.
Wow.
So I like put everything into getting in there, and I did, and did that for like 2 years, and then came out here on a trip with my production company because I was always in the studio.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting signed to Capitol Records, and then
Wow.
that's when I dropped out of college.
Said, all right, fuck jazz. I'm outside.
I was like shamed for liking tonal music in the jazz program. It was like, oh you sing pop music, so.
I mean, but I feel like that is so like.
Yeah, it was like I was like, let me roll my eyes.
Yeah.
They're back in my head. Yeah.
Okay, guys, like you know what I mean, like that's crazy. I mean, but even with that, like I wouldn't even really say your music is pop though.
I
Like,
hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get in an argument every time somebody comes out here that says they made pop music. I'm like, I don't really think it is. Like
I know exactly what
you know what I'm saying? Like it's a little different, but we'll get there. So then let's say you move, you get out here, you sign to Capitol Records, and then is this the time that you end up going on that tour, or is
right after Capitol wanted me. I don't know how in depth we're gonna get, but Capitol wanted me to make more EDM music because I had an EDM song like blow up called "I Love It When You Cry," and to this day it's my biggest stream song. So grateful for God. But I didn't really want to do EDM music, and I was on an EDM tour for 3 months, and I like didn't connect with that music, and so I ended up like getting a different manager. Scooter Braun ended up becoming my manager, and then he was the one that put me on the Bieber tour.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's super great.
That changed my life, and I got to connect with so many people who are still like my core people that support my music. So.
No, we can get as in depth as you would like. I think you have a very unique story because I think you. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you did everything correctly.
Oh.
Like thanks. As far as we've all, we all been around. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell the ones that are struggling and it didn't make it make sense. So when they had their situation, I feel like you definitely capitalized and definitely made it something worthwhile.
Yeah, I try to find that balance always. Like I was talking to my sister even on the way here, and she was like, "Oh, da da da, you could do this and super blow up," and I was like, "Yeah, making money and getting famous could be relatively easy, but doing that with respect is the longer journey that I've gone on."
Yeah. Definitely.
So it's definitely a longer journey, but I'm enjoying it.
No,
Not all the time. But I have learned to create a headspace where I really just am grateful for where I'm at. So.
I think you never hear anything too crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one.
Yeah.
It's usually the most important one because perception around here is key. You know what I mean? But like I said, yeah, you seem to be very musically inclined to where that's really the only thing that's going on. You know what I'm saying? It is great shit. Like, I mean,
Thank you.
some of this stuff is amazing. And I think it's interesting how you reinvented the wheel. From when you started, from and I'm going to butcher some of these names, I apologize. But, the one that got you at the mixtape about the apartment you were living in and so on and so forth.
Right, 931. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even like going from there to where we are now with like the whole Die in Your Arms single out now, by the way. Go in the fucking description, go get it. You know what I mean? But you've reinvented yourself so much to where I mean like your sound has really kind of like, expanded. Where it's like, again, like I wouldn't put you just as a pop star. You know what I'm saying? So like, you do so much more. The lyrics are deeper than a pop song. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I really pride myself. I take time on it. Everything is intentional. Like everything I want to say, I'm saying it for a reason. And I'm very detail oriented with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think other thing too, even speaking on like being intentional, like as an artist, how important is that?
I love that. Like when I was on tour with Bieber, I've said this before, but I felt like a huge responsibility that all these young girls are listening to me on stage, and I'm like, stream my music. So what am I saying in these songs that's actually gonna like benefit these young brains that are watching me? And it is about like telling your truth, but it's also about being the best version of yourself if you're gonna stand in front of people and ask them to stream your music. So that's how I felt. And I created this whole superhero girl, and in my last EP, 2989, like every lyric I put in that, I wrote them, most of them with my best friend Amy, and it was like every lyric was intentional to like if girls were gonna repeat it, they were gonna become more confident repeating it.
Empowering.
Yeah.
That's fire. That's See, and I think obviously you write your own music. So it's another thing. It's like not pop stars write your own music. Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, even from that, like like because I do want to get into your process because, like I said, none of this stuff is not. It's not just streamlined stuff. Like, even like I said, from the visuals to because you have a visual for Reason. And, oh my God. One of the best fucking videos I've ever seen in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? The dance routine was fine. Like, it feels so nostalgic because, it has those elements of, like, an MTV video that you would see at fucking 7 a.m. in the morning trying to go to school. But also...
That's what I grew up on, so I love those.
It's there. It's really there. Like, it really reminds me of, like, a TRL.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's something like, if you, not to put you in a box, but like, if you had a genre for that type of music, it's like TRL, essentially you want to see the entire idea come from. So how does your process start? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I get in these like eras. So after the Bieber tour, I was in like such a high, and then like the life of an artist. So it's like after that, then a year later, I'm like back to sleeping on my parents' couch in New York because I have no money, and I'm an artist, and I'm like, my old school Italian dad is, looking at me, and he's like, "You're wasting your life doing this shit," and he's like, "You're so beautiful. You could have done anything with your life, and you're wasting your life doing." He's looking at me every day, and I'm just sitting there like, I want to die, and I'm like, how am I gonna dig myself out of this hole? Like, I have to pull myself out of this, and I kind of just created this superhero character, and I kind of allowed myself to shed a lot of my fears about expressing myself artistically. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna bleach my hair white. My hair was brown at the time. I'm gonna bleach my hair white. I'm gonna become this superhero version of myself because I need to get myself out of this mindset.
Yeah.
I did that the next day. I created this like whole mood board of who I wanted to be and how I was going to redefine and recreate myself to be more positive. And took a flight out here, lived on my engineer's couch for 7 months until I saved up enough to get an apartment and made my 2989 EP, all based around that. So, and then I went through that experience, and then that got me some more attention, and then I ended up doing the Wait For You video with Future and Drake, and
Which is insane.
Yeah, so which was such a godsend at that time. And I remember it like I ended up meeting up with Drake, and he was going through all my music with me, and he was like, oh, I get that you're strong and you're this strong superhero girl and you want girls to be empowered. And he's like, but where's the vulnerability? Like, what hurts? Like, what are you struggling with? And I was like, oh, that's my next era then. I have to show people more of that while being confident. And, you know, so that's kind of, it's just like, I just get into these eras as I grow as a woman, you know.
Yeah. No, I think, first of all, that's a very interesting insight from that guy. You know what I'm saying? That's very interesting. And I mean,
I took it as like, you know, God's words coming. You know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not right now so far, but
no, I don't mean he's God. I mean, it was a message to me.
No, literally, yeah, it was literally from God's ears, or God's lips.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely get it. And I think that's super insightful to be able to decipher that, and then then make it okay, well then I could do that, because those standing in your pain and then being able to be like, yeah, this is me. Like, sure, this happened or whatever, but I'm still here. I'm not gonna let it define me, so on and so forth. It's still something that's not easily communicated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's. I think that it took me all this time to be able to be like, oh, it's so easy to communicate this now. It wasn't easy in my early 20s. It wasn't always easy. I didn't know how to, but now it just seems so easy. It's like, oh, I just have to like really show like, oh, here's this scar and here's this imperfection and here's this insecurity and here, like, I'm just gonna show you.
Exactly. Well, let you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think that is amazing. Like, especially, nowadays where music is kind of like, not cut and dry, but, it's very much you kind of get what you pay for in a sense. I just think it's nice to see people kind of getting a return on their investment. You know what I'm saying? That, if we invest in the artist, we would like to hear something other than just, the regular stuff that's going to get you guys paid. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I care. Like, I care about the people that are listening to. Like, I want to offer something.
Yeah. Want to make sure that they're receiving something from it.
Yeah.
So, and I do want to talk on or speak on too, if it's okay. But you said after the Bieber tour, no one ever hears anything after. Like that spotlight is there. It's great, because even before that, you have the cosigns of a lifetime. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the difference was they weren't cosigns. There are people that really were believing in you because they were giving you songs and they were giving you features. Yeah, fucking Pusha T and fucking you have a crazy
Post Malone,
and you got a good Pusha verse too. Like,
it's really good.
It's really good. Because and the thing is too, I think you were a challenge, and I think that's why another reason why they were so. And then this is obviously just speculating, but your music was ahead of its time. I really feel like for that era, because if you think 7 years back, and then you really think like who was around as far as like singers were, you start to really make sense. It's like, well, you would stand out, especially on a Bieber tour. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it makes total sense. And you had Pusha T rapping on stuff that he wouldn't rap on. You know what I'm saying? You have a Vic Submissive feature. He wouldn't be. That's not. You have a World Fair feature. You have a Remy feature. I'm here. We're right here. That's crazy. And shout out to World's Fair. They didn't get the respect I feel like they deserved. Holla at me. You know what I'm saying? But
are you from New York?
I have a lot of people from New York.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of people on there that definitely would not be on those songs if I feel like they didn't believe in it, and also too that they're giving really great verses, because besides them being a great artist, but they're giving really good verses. They're singing with you, nigga. Women them don't sing. Like, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, yo, this is This is amazing. So, I mean, I don't
I
know if
love that song, by the way. That's my niece, my 11-year-old niece. That's her favorite song of mine. Bad Decisions.
it's one of mine too.
I'm like, don't listen to that. That's not appropriate for you.
To you. Yeah, no, definitely. You're hilarious. I mean, hey, no, I just think as a whole, I just think it's interesting. But I do want to talk about like, what does that feel? What were you doing after the high? Like, I mean, obviously you say like, you were back your parents' house, whatever. But like, what led there? Like, what was your mindset? Because a lot of people don't know how to deal with that level of success or that level of like, okay, this is your moment. What are you gonna do to elongate it?
I'll tell you exactly what I felt like after the tour. I felt like the train is going this way, and my soul is like over here. And it was like, how am I going to bring them together? And that was like my mission after the tour. It was like, how am I going to bring more of my soul into this? And God was like, ooh, I'm gonna make you have to be on your parents' couch again and reconnect.
Hey, but you know what's so crazy about that? I don't even think that's really a bad thing.
No, I looking back, like, and with my like mature perspective, I appreciate all of it. And it's like, this is what I asked for. Like, I asked for this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always something where people say like, they always go back home to recharge the battery, and it's like, sometimes God has a funny way of making you go back into it, if because that might not be what you're thinking about, but it might be what you need. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying too. I think you listened to all the right signs. Like, you didn't seem like a person that went against the grain. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why it ended up working out so well for you. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I can only imagine coming off you're doing all these crazy interviews, you're running around, you know what I'm saying? Well, you guys did what? That was like a
70.
70.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, like,
me, Post Malone, Bieber,
like what can you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You're doing 30 minutes. Like, that's open in 30 minutes, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's I think I don't know how anybody else would have handled that. And especially after. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there were a lot of opportunities that I said no to that maybe like now I would have said yes to, but just where I was at, I was like, that doesn't feel, I don't know how to make that me, I don't know how to make that me, so no. And looking back, I'm like, ooh.
yeah, but like, you gotta, like, I don't know, I feel like as people, like, we definitely have like that, everybody's hindsight is 2020. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's hindsight is 2020. So it's like, yeah, like, if I would have did that, I could have did this and then this and then. But it's like, nothing ever is like that glistening once it like, like everything glitters and gold. Like, like that whole cliche. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't know. Like, I've always thought like those opportunities that you have on the way up are always like kind of like distractions, because it can always be like a weird.
Yeah, like I said, I would be taking the train further, and it was just like, wait, who am I? What am I doing?
But it's interesting that you even said that, because a lot of people would go the other way. Be like,
it was the first time in my life I had suicidal thoughts.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like a lot.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, just because there was just so much going on, or
no, not even so much. Just like it was so hard. It's so weird, and it's definitely like first world problems. But it was just so hard to connect to myself that I don't know. I didn't have God enough in my life, and like I just felt like I didn't know who I was at all, and it was so. And then you're like standing in front of people, being like, "This is me," but I don't even know who I am, and that was like what I needed to figure out as I grew,
Who's who sometimes.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you were from Jersey. I did not know that.
Jersey.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an Italian Jersey girl.
Hey. I'm trying to. I gotta go to New York this year.
You got to go to the restaurant.
What's it called?
Il Molino.
Do you want me to put that in here now?
Oh, sure. People know.
Oh, what's it called?
Il Molino.
I'm down.
Il Molino.
Like it's like pizza and
It's all Italian food. Pasta, chicken parm.
It's the first place I'm going. I'm supposed to go like somewhere in the summer, because I'm not going when it's cold. You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
That's actually too fucking cold. I can't do it.
September is really nice.
Is it? My birthday's in September. I might
Oh,
do that.
really?
Yeah.
So is my brother.
Wow, yeah, the 25th or 26th.
Okay, nice.
But anyway, but yeah, so you're, I forgot what you were saying. You were talking about the suicidal thoughts. Anyway, so which is crazy. Which is, I mean, but I understand. And I mean, I don't think that's really first world problems. I think, I mean, it's like saying therapy is first world problems.
Right.
It's like not really. I'm like
Mental health is important.
yeah, like mental health is actually a real thing. Like even though people bash on it, everyone just thinks everyone's too weak or whatever the case is. But it's like no, if it's really just you out there, and especially with how weird people are and people's intentions and stuff like that. And you really, in one wrong move, could really close all the doors for you. It's like, yeah, no, I can understand it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know if that's how it feels, but like I'm guessing that has to be a thought. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But I want to also talk about, what's, and this is early, but like, what's next? Because the songs I'm hearing is great.
There's a lot.
I said yes. What's next? Because
So I've never actually put out an album. I've put out like EPs, and 931 was a mixtape, and I never made a complete album. So I'm working on that, and it's kind of like a manifesto of like all my experiences and who I am, being a black sheep in my family and coming from this traditional family and going against the grain and doing this job and no one understanding me, and the relationship issues that I've had because of, dad issues and mom, it just, just growing up in a traditional family and then doing this and being in this industry and dating people, throughout my 20s in this industry or in this even city, and just like really like telling like the most frank truth.
Oh yeah.
So I have a EP first that I'm gonna put out, but then my album it's called I Wasted My Life at Madison Square Garden.
We got an exclusive. You haven't talked about it yet, have you?
No.
Oh, I can't.
Just
wait.
little things I've hinted at, but yeah.
Say it one more time.
I Wasted My Life at Madison Square Garden.
That's a fucking amazing name. You said I held a mic here. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Hey y'all. I wish I had a funk flex like little bomb drop.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So that's the album.
That's the album. Yeah. It's just about how I've wasted my life pursuing my destiny and my dream. And it's a pun, but like it came from a conversation I had with my dad where he's saying I wasted my life doing this and and it was after the tour and I was like, Dad, I stood in Madison Square Garden and sang I didn't waste anything. And it's just like perspective,
It always
People
is.
could say I wasted my life doing this. I say I made it, I made my life.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fraction, a very small fraction of people that's ever even been to Madison Square Garden in the first place, let alone got on stage and,
Alone with a mic.
Yeah, with a mic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think, but one that's fucking beautiful. Like I'm so excited. I will push shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got a fan over here. That's fire. But I think as far as like. I like the idea of like the whole wasted my life chasing my dream. It kind of reminds me of the I don't know if you've ever seen. Everyone has to see Blow, but Johnny Depp.
Yeah, a long time ago.
At the end of it, when like at the I think he's in jail, but he's saying like a lot of people waste their life. A lot of people waste their life planning on big dreams or something like that. It was something along that line. It's the same, kind of the same idea.
I should watch that.
Oh yeah, the ending is very iconic where. Like his kids leave him, and then he's by himself.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, a lot of people waste their, like a lot of people watch their life go by while making big plans for it. And it's like interesting, you know what I'm saying? But it's like it's different. Like you literally got to the mountaintop.
Yeah.
You know
well, not yet, but yeah.
To the amateur people, like
Yeah, not yet. I feel like I have. Like, I hope that this takes me to the next step, and then I will go to the next one, and then the next one, and I'm just never going to stop.
How much is it done already?
Like half, but there's a lot of music. Like, I've been working with this composer. There's a lot of, orchestral stuff, a lot of, like, Mafia, Godfather-inspired drama, and
So we like to hear.
Yeah, so it's a lot of orchestral music. So there's a lot of music that we've done, but just putting together all the stories
And trying to just and whittle it down into the music.
yeah.
That's amazing. So and, yeah, I was gonna say too. How do you play instruments? Do you just sing like I say? So what's
Yeah.
your role in it? Like as far as like not just obviously providing the stories and writing. Like how are you really into the instrumental side of things?
I mean, I have like my living room is not a living room; it's just a studio.
It's fire.
And it used to be my bedroom. My studio used to be in my bedroom, and I just put my bed in the living room because I was like, oh, I don't care where I sleep. The most important is that the acoustics are good. And then I was like, as I got older, I was like, it will be nice to have a bedroom. So let me like put my bed in the room, and then I switched it, and now my living room is a studio. And I have engineered myself for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
So I have an engineer as well, of course, who's now a producer, and we've worked together since college. Yeah, but yeah, I'm involved in like every step of the way. So I do play piano and guitar, but I would say that I like let Cobain, who's doing all the orchestral
Stuff.
stuff, I let him do that, and then I kind of take that and maybe find someone to do the drums on it, or if he's gonna do them, or kind of finish the production and write the lyrics and melodies and interludes and
Oh, but
everything.
this is so refreshing though to know that you're not just recording on a 2-track.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I didn't even go to sleep Saturday night. Like I stayed in the studio for 48 hours, like just. I live for the studio, like
Nah, I mean,
all my backgrounds and stacks and vocal production and.
I can only imagine because I was gonna say it sounds very like you're. Because I think when I went to your live, you were playing the piano, and I was like,
Yeah.
huh, like I didn't know, because I was like maybe she plays for real. Like I couldn't.
Every night before I go to sleep, I practice, and so I've just been like, people are like, you have to go live more. So I'm like, okay, I'll go live like before I go to sleep every night and just play people's songs.
You play people's stuff. I mean, that's the perfect. And you're playing it with like no, like there's no song. You're just kind of doing it off memory, which is fire. You know what I'm saying? But no, but I think it's nice to see that you're actually building these songs out. That these aren't like, oh, send me a beat and then like sing over the beat. Like you're in.
Yeah.
Because I've always thought you're like, and people that don't engineer may not understand what I'm about to say, but it's like when you record over a 2-track, there's no way to mix it in to the
true.
song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Glue it
So
all together.
Yeah. So when you have all the stems and things like
Yeah.
that, your music sounds very glued.
Yeah.
Like it's really like you're in there. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Which I think is why I say like it's probably the most polished that I've heard.
Oh.
As far as, some of that's not like, fucking,
Yeah.
Beyonce or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think that goes a long way because I don't know how
And yeah, me and Dan spend a lot of time mixing.
suck it. I mean, you
Well, like we spend time, and like my ears, like I'm so particular, and yeah, I spend a lot of time.
I mean, it's your voice. I mean, only you would know your voice.
Not just my voice, like every detail, like
Oh yeah.
yeah, breaths and kick drum tones, EQs, and yeah, everything.
I mean, you guys using Pro Tools? I'm guessing. All right. I'm about to say, don't tell me you're using Logic.
No, I record myself in Pro Tools. I never got really into Logic.
Good.
Yeah.
People that use Logic are crazy. Grow up. I can't in Pro Tools. That's crazy as hell.
I like
But
Pro Tools.
that or like Final Cut Pro. People that use Final Cut Pro are like Nazis. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyway, sorry.
What do you use?
Use Premiere.
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 I know how to edit in both, but I have to say Final Cut's really easy for me.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew there was something wrong. I knew it.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't.
I love Final Cut.
I can't do it. It's like I don't know. I don't like the.
I don't like Adobe, like the stacks. It's like too much.
I mean, you can make them bigger. You don't have to make it like.
I don't like the stacks.
Oh, I don't like DaVinci either. Like DaVinci's really cool.
The
to,
color.
Like, the color in.
Yeah.
But people that edit in it.
Oh no, that's right.
Nazis. Straight Nazis. I already know what you're talking. I already know what you're doing. That's crazy as hell. But anyway, so in Central Video, how do y'all come up with this stuff, man? Like, and
That's the easiest thing for me.
Is it?
That's the thing that I don't even have to try. Think that stuff just hits me like a ton of bricks in the head.
Wow. So let's talk about the recent video.
Yeah.
That's
With the horse.
with the horse.
Yeah.
and the dance.
Or the one with Lay, the remix one.
Both of them.
Okay.
Because
they tie into each other.
Yeah, they literally. I thought they were the same thing. Yeah, or not same thing, but they follow the same storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so, how? Yeah. What? Yeah. Tell me how that came about. It was great.
So I just I did grow up like a Kanye stan. You know, I remember the first time I saw him on MTV, and he was like an art major and a rapper, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. And I loved how he brought this museum vibe into his videos, and just I grew up like a hype beast for Kanye, like the aesthetics, man, the color schemes and like earth tones and and so I was super influenced by that, and I just really wanted to make like a very simple, beautiful video. And so I'm like, a black sand beach with a black chorus, and everyone's like, simple? Like, how are you gonna get the first of all, where's the black sand beach? I'm like, it's like Iceland or something, and I can barely pay rent, but I'm like, it's Iceland. But then we found out there's one in California, and I'm like, oh, sick. And they're like, it's a 12-hour drive, and I'm like, no problem, like I have a car. And they're like, but everyone has to drive. I'm like, well, I'll buy some people flights. So like I bought the videographer a flight. I drove the entire drive.
12 hours.
And back, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And I found this horse. I called like 20 different stables. I found a black horse that was willing to go down to the beach, because most of them were like, oh, we have a horse, but you can't take it off our property, and you can't bring it to the beach.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so, I just had this vision, and then I'm very serious about executing my visions. If I have a vision, I'm like, okay, well.
I can tell that.
If I have to call 40 stables, I'm going to call them until one of them.
So somebody got to give. Yeah. That's amazing.
Nobody had black horses either. They were like, we don't have black horses. I'm like, damn, all right, well, it was hard to find.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not one stable got one with a black horse?
Not a lot. I wanted like a dark, all black, horse,
Yeah, like
so it matched horse. The black sand. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
You probably could have color graded in black, though.
Yeah, but then I was just worried that it would affect the rest of it,
Yeah,
I could have.
Yeah, you could. I mean, with DaVinci, you could do that little.
Yeah, you like highlight the
area. You could turn, which is crazy.
Yeah.
DaVinci, I will do everything through y'all, dog. If y'all give me a sponsorship, I'm with it. But no, that's insane. But I mean, first of all, 12 hours back and forth. It's insane. Where is it at?
It's Shelter Cove. It's like top of California, 6 hours above the bay.
Oh, so it's like Eureka?
I don't know.
I'm thinking like
Humboldt County.
Oh, Humboldt County? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We stopped in the bay because my friend lives there, so we stopped there for a night and then drove the rest.
Still couldn't imagine fucking. That's crazy. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, it gotta happen though. If it's gonna work, it's gonna work.
It's an adventure. Like I want to create something cool, and then oh my gosh, we had this drone that we rented, and it broke in the middle. It just crashed into the ocean. And so I'm like, oh no, the drone footage was like the opening shot. And like, I was like, all right, well, we'll figure out a different opening shot, but like we have to then pay for the drone and this and that. But we ended up making friends with the people in the town, because everyone in the town like came and watched.
Oh, wow.
And there was this young girl, shout out Chloe Adams, and she was watching, and she was helping me with the horse all day because I'm like, how am I gonna repay you? To this day, we talk on the phone. This is like a little sister to me now. But she like arranged like a beach search to find this drone, and they found it a week later, and they shipped it to us, and the memory card was still intact, and so we got the drone footage because she arranged the beach search.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out Chloe Adams. She went crazy.
Yeah. Legend.
Huh? You gotta pay for the drone?
I still had to pay for the drone.
Oh, fuck. I hope it wasn't too bad. Shit.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, man. But at least the footage is great.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Them things be solid.
So solid, right?
Solid.
I know.
Because you would think, though, too, like, you gotta think, like, sometimes it might fall out the sky into some water. You would think maybe the whole of it would be, pretty secure. You know what I'm saying? Probably not for too long, though.
I don't know. I think a wave hit it. I don't know. We have no idea what
Whatever
happened.
works.
All of a sudden, it was just not there. And we were like, oh, it must be in the ocean. So
Nah,
it was.
Or if you go like too far out. Like
Yeah, it loses service.
It just
Dies.
tweaks out.
Yeah.
I really noticed, like, I don't, and you have to have like a pilot's license for like, I think it's fucking stupid.
Wild.
Like, what are we? I'm not about to be it's not a
Pilot?
It's not a jet. Like, it's literally for
You
video.
could really hurt people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's so that was hilarious. I'm sorry, but from there, so these, and then obviously they get are you editing the video?
Yeah, I edited the video. Yeah.
You're editing the whole thing?
I've edited almost every video I've ever put out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm insane.
It's just you. It's just you and Eve.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I love to edit videos. Like that's something that I love to do. I can see myself like needing help, as like things get busier and busier, and I would love that. But I love, cause I like direct most of my videos, so I just love to actually like see the vision through. And
I mean they are your treatments. So you have to make sure that you're gonna get it. The only time you're gonna get it right is if you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want somebody to cut an important piece off. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So so unfortunately we're running out of time. It's that time. But this has been fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? Definitely one of my favorite ones. You know what I'm saying? But any last words before we get out of here?
oh god, the pressure's on.
All of it.
Oh, last words.
No, it's all pre-recorded.
Okay. Why Lyfe N Tymes?
Oh, I get a question? That's crazy. That's a crazy last word. I like the idea of like Lyfe N Tymes feels like it's like now. Like this is the Lyfe N Tymes of.
It's the culture.
It's the culture. It's the Lyfe N Tymes of this. It's the Lyfe N Tymes of that. And it's like I don't want to like be in a box to where it was just a music podcast or like this podcast. So like I want
Because it's all intertwined now.
It really is. And I think if you freelance in any type, way, shape, form, or fashion, we're all doing the same thing. All the goals are the same. And I mean, like nowadays, LA doesn't really have a podcast thing anymore. Like unfortunately, so it's like. I can't complain about it. I was telling your security. I was like, I can't complain about it anymore. So I'm like, I'd rather just try to change it. So if I could get out here and reach out, I mean, a lot of people know all the same people anyway. So I'm like, I just try to get people on the show to talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could go that route instead of making it like an interview, like a boring interview, like I'm asking your favorite color and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Try to go a different way around it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, your energy is what caught my eye. So
We're here, guys. You know what I'm saying? Side note too, you have a fucking noisy interview, and I think that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched that whole thing.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
they followed me on tour. Yeah, they like came on the tour with us.
That's fire. Like,
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that can even say that early in their career though that they have a fucking noisy interview. All the noisy interviews are all like amazing.
Yeah.
Like they're very like goated. You know what I mean? So you're just part of that. You're part of that shrine. You know what I mean? You're enshrined on like the noisy page. You know what I'm saying?
For my confidence boost today, Tim.
Hey man, hey, everybody needs to know that, you're doing great. It's only up from here. I mean, you're blowing it out the water. Just gotta keep going. I mean, I just want to see what's next. Cause like I
Me
said,
too.
me too. You know what's next. You are what's next. You gotta believe that. You know.
Oh no, I believe it. I just can't wait to see what God has planned.
Man, guys, this has been Lyfe N Tymes with our friend. Go ahead and introduce it one more time.
Moxie Raia.
Gotta have the sound bite in there. You know what I'm saying?